Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Secret Sunday session. Today I'm joined by Alethea Crimmins, all the way from America, which it's very exciting to have her jump on with us today. And today we're going to be talking about Alethea's story, as well as starting the conversation around body positivity and looking at how you can empower yourself to be the best version of yourself and love who you are, not just for what it looks like, but also who you are as a person. And so thank you so much, Alethea, for joining us
Thank you
today.
for having me. Thank you so very much. So, as you said, I am Alethea Crimmins. People may know me as Miss underscore HDIC on Instagram and TikTok. And I am a motivational speaker and just your all around hype girl. That's who I am.
I love that. If there was ever a definition to define someone you want in your life, it is definitely your number one hype girl. Like, what a phrase.
Yes.
The work that you do, like you can see if anybody follows Alethea, you are so positive, so proud, and so empowering to so many people. Why take on this mission and why take on this message?
That is very easy. I wanted to be for other people what nobody was for me.
Sure.
That is it in a nutshell, because I know that there's other people in this world that feel like I did, that carried the same burdens that I did. And just like me, they didn't have anybody to uplift them, to make them feel good about themselves as they are.
Mhm.
So I wanted to give that back. I wanted to pour into other people and let them know that you are exactly enough as you are. You don't
Mhm.
have to change or be what the world wants you to be. You are you, and that's enough.
That's
That's enough.
amazing. That is so amazing. And it's something that I think we all need to hear. And as you mentioned, you didn't always feel this way. This wasn't
Oh, gosh,
always your
no.
mindset. Where
Gosh,
were
no.
you at prior to this?
I was in a very dark place prior to this. I had extremely low self-esteem. There were several times, well, growing up, I was always told negative things like, oh, but they were disguised as positives. You're so pretty, but you'd be
Mhm.
so much prettier if you lost weight.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, like you have such a big personality, but can you tone it down just a little bit because you're just too much? So all my life, and little known fact, I was born with a stutter, which I still have. I've got teased and ridiculed because of this my whole entire life. Um, there were three times in my life that I tried to end in my life because of all of this. I had an eating disorder around college. I had a very bad eating disorder because I wanted to fit into the box that everybody said that I should be in. And I wanted to be pretty. And in in everybody else's eyes, in my mom's eyes, in the world's eyes, pretty meant skinny. Pretty didn't mean Alethea.
Mhm.
Pretty was the opposite of what I was.
It's so sad. It's so sad that this is also so commonly experienced and that most of our lives, some people never get over this and are
No,
constantly carrying these burdens of how they feel about themselves as never good enough, as never worthy enough, and then go to coping mechanisms like unfortunately sometimes we see people take their own lives or turn to eating disorders in order to cope. For you, in that experience, can you explain a little bit how you felt every day? Was it something that it was, one day you were good, one day you were bad, or this was you were constantly reminded and constantly in this phase of ultimately, I hate to say it, but a lot of us do feel this way, but hate of yourself.
so I am, I had learned to become the best chameleon that you would ever see in life.
Mm,
I wore a mask. So on the outside, I looked like I was, oh my gosh. And I was always the life of the party. And I was always wanting to be friends with everybody. And I was always, yay. But that really wasn't how I felt.
mm,
But I used that as a coping mechanism because I thought that if I would just fake being happy, then maybe I would be happy. But it didn't quite work like that because it made it worse.
mm,
It
yeah.
made it worse. Me trying to fake it till I made it worse.
Mm,
It wasn't until I faced it till I made it. I I no longer wanted to fake it until I made it. I had to learn how to face it
mm.
to make it. And
Wow.
that was extremely hard. That was very, very hard. I didn't want to get up out the bed.
Mm,
I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to eat. I, did, I barely wanted to breathe. Like it was like I did not want to be here. I just felt why. I felt why would God put me on this earth to torture me like this? That's literally how I felt. Like, what is the purpose of me being here to feel like this?
mm. And you mentioned, a couple of times you were at the stage of wanting to take your own life. How bad did it really get for you?
Um, God, it the first time I was just I felt like everybody would be better off.
Mm,
And in hindsight, and what people don't realize, because people say they commit suicide as if it is a crime.
mm,
It's not something that you commit. And what I realized in hindsight that I did not necessarily want to die. I just wanted to disappear. I just wanted to disappear. And that was the only way that I knew how to disappear. I remember sitting in my room in the dark, nothing on, crying, eyes bloodshot, swollen, stomach growling. I could not remember the last time that I had eaten. I'm in a ball, rocking back and forth. My body's just tense. And I'm holding on for dear life to a bottle of pain medicine. And I remember myself thinking, if I just take this and don't wake up, nobody's going to miss me. So it's going to be okay. And I did. And I took it. And obviously, I didn't take enough because because when I remember waking up and to being shaken like vigorously, shaken and
mm,
hit, and people screaming. And when I did come to, the relief that I had, that, oh, I'm sorry, the
no,
relief that, oh my gosh, I'm still here. And there were people around me
mm,
that wanted me to be here.
mm.
So it kind of made me, okay, let me just test this out and see if I actually have a reason to be here.
Wow. Wow.
The next
Didn't think I was gonna
time,
get crying this far.
I know.
Wow,
Like,
I am so sorry. I am so sorry that you had to experience that, but in a way, what a gift. What a gift in that you hit your rock bottom moment, and from that, you found life, and, like, you were for so long choosing to end it, and then in a split second, it was like just a little perspective change to see how if someone gives you just a little bit of kindness and a little bit of care, how you can just have hope, just have a little bit of hope. And I think that is so powerful. And congratulations on taking that hope and
thank you.
deciding that, I'm going to give this a shot.
It was very, very difficult because even after all of that, I despised me.
Mm,
Even after all of that, I still could not find anything to love about me
mm,
at all,
mm,
at all. And I kept trying to look for validation from everybody else that it almost became not not almost, it did. It became an addiction. It became a drug. Validate me, validate me, see me. And I literally would do anything to make that happen because I wanted that, which led me to a bunch of not good for me relationships because they fed into that hunger. They fed into that addiction. They made me feel like I was seen. Looking back, they didn't really see me. They
mm.
just saw what I had to offer them.
Wow.
And what I used for payment was my body.
Wow. It's so sad once again that, that that can happen. And I think it once again is so common that we get that little bit of kindness that is showed to us and then we crave it. We crave that feeling that and we accept it and we don't care if it's bad. We don't care if it's good. It's just give me, fill that void in my life. How did you navigate that? And how did you come to terms when you realized that I was obsessed with this feeling and I need to learn how to really establish a value and not be craving that so that I let just anyone in.
Okay. This is a I hope I don't cry moment. Um,
We've been past that.
when when I realized that something had to change, something had to happen was when my oldest son, again, I'm on the floor, curled up in the fetal position, and my oldest son comes with ice and a towel, and he's putting ice on my eye, and he's rubbing me, and he's crying, and he's saying, "Mama, it's gonna be okay. Mama, you're gonna be all right." And he's wiping the blood off of me, and I'm crying hysterically, but I'm trying to hold it in because this
Mhm.
8, 9-year-old little boy
Mm,
knows, he knows to go and get the ice. He knows, like this has become a way of life for him.
mm, mm,
That shouldn't ever be.
mm,
That should not have ever been.
mm. Wow.
And that was when I had the courage. 'Cause it takes a lot of courage. After many, many times in the hospital and me going right back because I felt like I couldn't do it without them because I didn't know how to give myself what they were giving me. So I would go right back. I took the courage, I took my kids, I took myself, and I left. And I made a promise to myself that I never wanted to feel that way again. I never wanted to go through that again. The hard part was trying to figure out what that looked like. And as I was in a room at one of my friend's house, because I no longer had a house of my own because I left it all. I left my house. I left my home and went to live with a friend. And I'm in my room and I am praying on my face, hands and knees. God, please tell me what I have to do. Like, what do I need to do? And I swear I heard a voice say, choose you.
Well, that's gonna make me
And
cry more than anything.
and he just God just made it sound so easy. Choose you. But those two little words was like, oh my God, like it literally blew the way I cried. Like every time I thought about it, because I never in my life chose me. I was always waiting to be chosen, but I never chose me. It was like an epiphany. It was like the skies opened up and I was like, I need to choose me. I need to choose me. And it was very, very hard. But I had to learn how to put me first. I had to learn to choose me. I had to learn that I was worthy. And the most powerful, powerful, powerful tool I ever used came in a little square. It came on a sticky note. Came on a sticky note. And how that happened, I was in class, I was in psychology class, and my professor gave everybody an assignment to write 5 positive things about themselves. I had the pen in my hand, had the paper, and I'm a writer. I look around and I see everybody just writing, just writing. Can't think of one thing. One, much less, much less 5. And everybody's just writing and just, okay, I'm done and write. And I'm still, 15 minutes has passed and I'm still just looking at this blank paper. And I just start seeing water hit the paper. Like I'm crying because I cannot think of a positive thing to say about myself. I excuse myself. My professor comes after me. She dismisses class and she asks me what's going on. And I tell her I cannot do this assignment. It's too hard. And she said, okay, well, how about this? How about you write 5 negative things about you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was like, you want 10? I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I can give you 20. Let's go.
There's not enough
What
stickies.
do you need? Like, I mean, you want a page? Like
Yeah.
I was, and she was like, okay, stop. The thing that concerned her was the smile on my face. Like I achieved something. And she said, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to take those things that you wrote, and on the side of them, I want you to change it into a positive. But she said, first, I want you to read each one out loud. So I began to read each one out loud. Alethea, you are not enough. Alethea, you are so pretty, but you'd be so much prettier. And as I'm reading, I know that my mouth is saying this. I know that it's me, but at that instant, it wasn't my voice. that I heard. It was my mama's voice. It was my family's voice. It was people in school's voice. Those were the voices I heard. That's when it hit me that it was never my voice. That was never me saying those things about me. So when I wrote on the side of it, the positive things, I started to read it. And she said, no, read it out loud. When I began to read the positive things about me out loud, that was my voice. That was me. That's
Incredible.
me.
Incredible.
What we don't realize, and I taught pre-K for 15 years, and this lesson hit me again later on in life, years later. I had this 4-year-old girl in my classroom, Ty Lee. You could not tell Ty Lee that she was not the most beautiful girl in the whole entire world. And she would ask me every day, Miss Thea, am I pretty? Miss Thea, do you like my hair? Miss Thea, she just knew. And it almost made me jealous because I was like, I want to be like this. But then it made me sad because I thought to myself, she thinks so highly of herself, and I love this. And she's going to until somebody tells her that she's not what she thinks she is.
Yeah.
We've been programmed, we've been brainwashed by other people. We were not born thinking negatively of ourselves. That's when I learned the power of I am. Just like right now, if you look in the camera, you're looking at yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how my videos started.
I love that.
I used sticky notes and I wrote, I am enough on my mirror. I am beautiful on my mirror. And I would say it every day out loud. Out loud. Because when you say it out loud, you overpower your overthinking.
Mm. Yeah. I love that. That's incredible. And it's amazing how powerful those statements can be and how you can have so much belief in them. Are there still days though that, you wake up and sometimes those I ams aren't as strong as what we would like them to be?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. So a perfect example I'm on my healthy journey. I'm not gonna call it a weight loss journey, but
Mm,
but I have lost weight because I'm doing things healthier. I've lost a significant amount of weight. I cannot bring myself to get rid of my big clothes because in the back of my mind, I'm still that girl. In the back of my mind, I'm still that size. In the back of my mind, it's like I need to keep these clothes because what if I go back to that? Is just a lot of doubt. But then I have to snap out of it
mm,
and remember that that's not who I am. I have evolved from that. I can't keep looking backwards because that's not where I'm going.
mm.
I'm not going that way. I'm
Why
going
do you
this way.
why do you think you're scared of letting that version of yourself go?
Because when you've been on this ride before and it's just like a cycle of things, it's just you kind of have that e- expectation that you know what's going to happen.
Mm,
So it's like, okay, I've been on this journey before, and so I know how the book is going to end. So let me just hold on to this just in case the book finishes in the way that it always does, not realizing that I have the power to change my story.
mm.
I have the power to change my story. And sometimes we don't realize it because we're so used to going through this cycle, and we think that we know how this book is going to end, not realizing that we are the author.
Mm,
So we can change it if we want to.
mm,
Change the narrative.
mm. And why for you do you think you're changing your narrative right now?
Because the only time that I want to look back is to see how far I've come. That's the only time that I ever want to look backwards. Because I've worked too hard to get where I am. And if I want to change, then I have to be the change. I can't just talk it. I actually have to live it.
Mm,
And I have been living it every single day, even when it's hard. I
mm,
have to show up because I realize that if I don't show up for me, nobody else will.
mm. And that's the thing, I think, with doing the work on yourself and learning to love who you are inside and out, it's hard work. And I
It
think a
is.
lot of people shy away from that because it is so hard. And for you in your journey, how hard was it to really not only say you were going to do it, but as you said, live and breathe this every single day?
It was very hard because when I started that, so this was not, all of this was not supposed to be all of this. This happened during COVID, and somebody told me about TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well that's cool." So, I saw all the like lip syncing videos,
Mm,
and I was like, "Oh, I can do that." And then one day it hit me. I was like, "Well, I don't know anybody on here, so let me just be me." So when I picked up my phone to do a video, I was like, "Oh, I have to look at me so I can do my daily affirmations on my phone."
mm,
So I just started to talk positively about me and tell myself what I wanted, what I needed me to hear. And I was so scared and so nervous to hit post. And when I did, the responses that I got were amazing. And that's what kept me going. It held me accountable. I'm like, wait, yeah, I, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. So every day, it's healing for me just as much as it is for you to hear it. It's healing for me also.
mm.
Because little known fact, sometimes I have to go and watch my own videos and be like, oh no, girl, let me find this video about
Let me go
it.
back to the saved.
Yeah.
Wow. Going through all of that, I know, we spoke about earlier how there was that need at the start for validation and for that external care and love. Did you find going onto social media and then when you started to get, people following you and people praising you, did that obsessive need come back?
No,
Wow.
no. And I thought that it would have.
Mm,
I thought I would have got sunken into the rabbit hole of getting likes and follows, but that's not why I'm doing this. That's never why I started this. I tell everybody, I do not care if 5 people or 5,000 people like my videos. For that one person that I helped, that one person that said, I almost took my life, but because you came up and told me that I can do it, that's why I do this.
mm. Oh, how does
And
that make you feel when you hear that?
The times I have cried listening to people and reading their comments, the times that I feel like doing this made me feel like, okay, I know what my purpose is. And that's why I no longer needed validation, because it had turned into purpose. So I no longer needed that validation because now I know what my purpose is. And my name isn't Honda or Ford or Toyota. So I have to realize that the only time that I need validation is when I'm parking my vehicle. That's it. That is the only time that I need something validated is my car. I don't need it because I can give it to myself. I can choose me. I can speak life into me. I don't need anybody else to do it for me. And when they do, this is going to sound very cocky, but it's not. When they do, it's confirmation of what I already have told myself. Because when you know who you are, nobody has to tell you who you are because you already know.
Mm. And I
You
don't think
already
that's cocky at all, because I mean, you look at when you have negative thoughts and you're searching for people to fuel those negative thoughts, we don't call those people cocky because they're believing that negativity. Just because it's positivity, I think it comes from a place generally of people being jealous of places that they can't go or that where they're not at.
Yes, exactly. And what we have to realize, what I realized, is when I looked at these words, it's called self-esteem, self-love, self-care. And the reason that my life wasn't going right is because I was looking for from all these things from other people that I should have been giving to myself.
Mm.
That's why it's called self-esteem. I can't get it from anybody else. Because if I do, as soon as the person leaves, what they gave me leaves with them because I didn't already have it. But if I already have it, then you leaving, I will silk sonically leave the door open and you can walk. You can go because I am happy with who I am. Like I don't need you to make me happy. I can do that on my own.
So incredible, and it's so refreshing to hear, and especially in the world that we're living in today with so much noise that can make us think otherwise. I mean, when
So
we
much.
when we talk about, self-care and self-awareness and self-love, we mentioned affirmations and things like that as something that can really help us live and breathe that. But what are some other tools and potential strategies that have helped you to really step into filling up your own cup by yourself?
Learning that sexy does not have a size chart.
Yes.
Sexy does not have a size chart. As everybody can see, I am a thunder thigh, plus size, superlicious diva. And I
I love
love
it.
everything about me because it's all a part of me. And if
Mm,
I don't love my fupa, then nobody else will. So I have to love it first. If I don't love these flabby arms, then nobody else will. I have to love it first. So
mm,
I've learned to love all of me, and I know that sexy doesn't come in a size.
mm,
Sexy is a mindset.
mm,
Beauty does not come in a size chart. It doesn't come with the age chart. It's in here.
mm,
If you think it, then you are. If you tell yourself, then that's what you are. So now we have to ask ourselves, what are you telling yourself?
mm. It's just so powerful. This whole conversation, I've been like, oh my God, I need to cry. I don't know if I have any tissues. And it's like good and bad tears. been phenomenal, and as I said, just so, so powerful in the messaging, and I think it's something that you need to be everyone's hype person, because if I can wake up and hear your voice every day empowering me, I think everybody will be in such a better headspace. Um, Going on from that though, you did mention earlier that there are comments that were made when you were younger that were influenced by other people,
Mhm.
and sometimes that can be really hard to move on from. Did you ever get to a place where you were able to forgive and forget and be able to move on and heal from those comments and people?
Yes. Yes, and that took a long time to do, but this is what I realized because I was a avid grudge holder. Like I would keep all the things, and I have an older brother that was horrible to me. And every time I saw him, my blood would boil. I would tense up. I would get a headache, like I because I get so upset. And he's just living his life, shopping with his family, and I'm just like, and my wife, who is very outspoken and just blunt for no reason, she was like, look, look at you, look at you, and look at him. Look at you and look at him. You being mad is affecting who? And I was like, shut up. You're right. So I had to realize that us holding grudges is like us drinking poison and waiting on them to die. Like it doesn't work like that because we are only hurting us. He probably does not even remember half of the things that he did to me. It's affecting me. It's not affecting them. So it wasn't on them to change. I had to let people be who they are. I can't change them. Let them be who they are. I can change who I am. So I forgave them, not for them. This was for me. I forgave them for me and I let them be who they are. And when that happened, I realized that they no longer had power over me. Now I can see him and be like, hey, Michael. And like,
What are you
because,
doing?
yeah, because you no longer have power over me.
Mm,
And that is a beautiful thing to walk through life knowing that nobody has power over you. We hurt ourselves when we allow people to have power over us, when we allow these people's words. Yes, words do have power, but so do we. And we
incredible.
forget we have power.
Mm.
We
How do you
have
get to a
just,
stage of sorry, but
no,
how
no,
do you get to a stage of letting go and breaking free? Because, it's unfortunately, it's not something where we can just wake up and be like, "I'm done, I'm
no.
free of the grudge."
Mm-mm.
How do you do the work?
I got tired. Like, really, honest to God, I was tired. I was tired of feeling upset and angry all of the time. And what really hit me, I was at work and this woman that could not stand me. I don't know why. Well, I do know why now because I'm fabulous. But I mean, she could not stand me. And she told me something that pissed me off. Now, this was in the morning.
Mm,
I carried that anger with me the entire day. My oldest son was failing geometry. And he was so now I didn't know at the time, but he was so excited because he had took a test and he had made an A and he could not wait until I got home so he can show me that he made this A. Oh my gosh. I came home and I was still mad because of what she told me in the morning. in the afternoon, I still carried this anger with me. I, I got home. I threw my stuff down. I was just that it's a horrible day. And here comes Jalen, Mama, and I'm like, what, Jalen? What? Move! The look on his face. This child had waited the entire day, all day, until mommy got home so he can show mommy how proud, because he wanted his mommy to say, oh my God, Jalen, you did such a good job. But because I allowed somebody to mess up my day, I ruined his.
Mm.
That's when everything clicked and changed for me, because I felt horrible and I could not get that moment back. All because I allowed somebody to mess up my day. She didn't make me mad. I made me mad.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy how it comes back to accountability.
This is where the have a good day on purpose came
Mm.
from. Because we have to be intentional about having a good day.
Mm.
Let the moment, and had I let the moment be the moment, it's okay to have a bad moment. But what's not okay is to carry that moment into your day. Have the moment, holler, scream, cry, cuss, whatever. Have the moment and then move on with your day.
So good. So good. It's something we all need to hear because I know even in my own life, it's I'm the same. I was a grudge holder for so long, and by what? For something that I created and manifested inside of me, and it went on to ruin my days, to my weeks, into my relationships with people, and all from something that I created that someone generally doesn't even care about. As you said,
At
they say
all.
comment and they move on.
At all. Like they don't care. And when people learn that these are your buttons, they're going to push them. When
Mm.
people learn, oh my gosh, that's our button. and and that's all it takes.
Mm.
But now nobody knows what my buttons are, because I have no buttons, because it's like you can't push anything that I don't allow you to push.
Mm.
So you don't know what I'm going to get mad over, because I don't allow other people to upset me, because I have learned the power of be great in their face. You're not going to upset me. I'm going to make you mad. For
Mm.
everybody that's listening, we all have haters, and
Mm.
haters say awful things. We are supposed to have haters. They are doing their job. Let them do their job. Why? And you might want to write this down. Haters stand for having anger toward everyone reaching success.
So
Having
good.
anger, everyone reaching success. That's why you have haters, because you are at a level that they cannot get to. That's why they talk about you, because you make them more relevant, because talking about themselves is boring, but talking about you gets them attention. Hello.
Mm.
That's why you have haters. So if you have haters, you're doing a good job. Don't stop.
Mm. So good, and I absolutely love this, and I'm definitely gonna write that one down.
Yes.
Um, on that, you've obviously become a mum through all of this. Were you ever terrified at the fact that, you were strong in your mindset and where you are now with your life, but then not being able to control how that experience is to pan out for your children?
Yes. because because I would tell myself I am not gonna be like my mom was to my kids. And then when I let the moment overtake me, I found myself repeating verbatim
Mm,
what my mother would tell me to them. And I'm like, oh
mm,
my God, I'm gonna give my children a complex. But so I had to scale back, and I this is something else that I had to tell myself that was very powerful to me. I am no longer my mother's version of me. I am no longer that. I am me. I can raise my kids my own way. I can do things my own way. I no longer have her looking over my shoulder. I'm no longer that version. I'm no longer seeking a- approval. I know what I want. I know how I want to raise my kids. So that's what I'm going to do. And I gave them all the love and positivity that I knew how. Like I gave them what I wish would have been given to me. And sometimes some days it didn't work out. And because kids are gonna be rebellious. And sometimes it didn't work out, but I always let them know I'm here. Even if you don't want to talk to me right now, I'm here. So as long as I keep letting my kids know I'm here and I love you, that's all I can really do. Like my older son is in a space where he doesn't really want to be bothered with us. It hurt. It hurt because that's my son. And I tried to force my way back into his life, and that made it worse. Then I had to remember, no, let him. Let him be who he is. I can only change me, even though it hurts. All I can do is be me and let him know I'm here. I love him. Leave that door open, but I have to let him. I have to let him live his life. I have to let him fall. I have to let him. I can't always be the superhero. I can't always save him because then he'll never learn how to save himself. I have to let him.
mm,
And as a mom, that's hard.
mm,
It's
mm.
very hard.
It's crazy how so much of life is surrendering and letting go when we're often told to have control, to get ahead of your life, to be on top of everything when most of the time we do. We just need to let go and turn up for people and be able to listen and turn up for ourselves. And that's the beauty in learning through this life as well, is figuring out what that looks like for you and what that looks like for you is whether you are a parent or whether you are a partner or in a friendship or whatever that looks like. It's how you turn up for yourself and then how that indirectly affects others. It's a beautiful process of life. Um, this has been an absolute phenomenal conversation. I feel like I could talk to you forever for my own needs, constantly need these highs. Um, but I want to end on a couple of little questions. One of them being that little girl who you were when you were younger. What would you say to her right now?
I would tell her that, Alethea, you are enough as you are. You don't have to change for anybody. Be loud, live out loud. And if they say that you are too much, go find less because you are going to be great.
Mm, that's incredible. And if she was looking at you right now, what do you think she would say?
Go ahead, bitch. You're doing a good job. Yay, me.
Be like that.
She will probably be like crying, like looking at me crying, and that's what keeps me going. Like I know that she's looking at me like, okay, we're doing this.
Amazing. And then what do you think out of your whole journey that's got you to where you are today, what is one lesson or one takeaway that you feel that has really carried you through and something that has got you to where you are today that you've kind of lived by?
Get out of my own way. Get out of my way. Because I was the one that was standing in the way of my greatness. I was the one that was standing in the way. I was the wall. And to always be intentional about having a good day on purpose. That is the key, on purpose. On purpose.
Amazing. This has been such a phenomenal conversation, and I'm so, so grateful to have had you on to share with
Thank
our community
you.
everything that you have learned and your amazing journey. I want to say personally, a congratulations to where you are
Thank you.
today. And I know that you're proud, but know that I am feeling so proud of you. And I
Thank
know
you.
so many people within the community are because you have turned it around. You believed in that little bit of hope and you fought so hard to get where you are today. And I think that deserves a pat on the back. And thank you for coming out and even sharing. I mean, you could have gone through all of this and said, "No, I'm done. I just want to live my best life." But you decided to post and you decided to continue to post. And for that, I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And where can people find you if they want to follow, if they want that daily hype up?
Yes, they can follow me at MS_HDIC on Instagram and TikTok. I'm there all the time. I also have a podcast and it's on YouTube and it's under my name, Alethea Crimmins.
Beautiful. And you make sure you go check that out because I think everybody needs a little bit of Alethea in their life every day. Thank you so much once again. And thank you as well to everyone else out there for tuning in for another Secret Sunday session. It has been an absolutely phenomenal conversation with Alethea Crimmins, and we will catch you all very soon.